Hi guys, we're from MTG Lab. I'm Mike.
And I'm Luke.
We're going to present you today with a versus video with standard and Pawn of the Gods.
Yeah, I'm going to play Band Control, willing to test new Planeswalker Kiara the Crashing Wave. She seems to be really powerful addition for control decks.
Yes, I'm playing White Weenie featuring Primas and Eidolon of Countless Battles. I think they will be very good in this metagame.
Okay, so we're going to test something new. We're going to play with our hands revealed. Hopefully it will make the game clearer for you, and we would like to hear if you like it or not.
Yeah, just comment on Facebook. Also, I have a confession. I forgot my t-shirt today.
And
so
yeah, we have prepared a punishment. The punishment will be that Mike will play next versus video with shitty basic lands. So
yeah, they will be awful, very awful.
So seeing you during the matches.
So I'm playing black-white aggro deck. That is basically white Weenie splashing black for some removal spells. So the core of this deck are obviously creatures. I have 8 1-drops. These are the only white creatures with mana cost 1 that have 2 power, and they are very strong in these strategies. I chose not to play Boros Elite because in a deck where you play Temples and one Guild Gate, you often will not be able to carve out perfectly, and therefore this Boros Elite will not be able to get his battalion trigger and therefore will not be a good creature. I chose to play 24th land to play Eidolons, 4 Eidolons. These are my they are at the end of my curve. They are basically a 4-drop because you almost always want to bestow them. They are very strong. They are much stronger than I thought initially. They provide the punch for this deck that it really needed. Often you will just be able to bestow Eidolon on something like Brimas, which is obviously the best possibility, but even a Prissing Captain or Daring Skyjack, which can get flying, when you do this, you attack for a lot of damage out of nowhere. It will be quite often that the Eidolon will give you +5/+5 and just kill your enemy or put them in an impossible position. So to support these 4 Eidolons, I play 4 Prissing Captains. Well, I would play them either way because they are very good 2-drop, and 3 Brimases, which I would also play, to be honest. But this is just a very good synergy because every one of these creatures puts more creatures on the board and makes the Eidolon bigger. Also, there are 2 Imposing Sovereigns, which are very good to drop. And to be honest, I'm not sure if there shouldn't be a third one, because the effects of having your opponent's creatures come into play tapped is very strong in aggro strategies, because, well, when they play something like some big creature like Polukranos, you want it to be tapped to get this free turn of attacking. It's often the difference between winning and losing. Also, to answer these big creatures, I play 2 Banisher Priests, only 2 of them because they are good. They are a creature that removes a blocker, but you don't want to be flooded with them. Also, I don't want to play more of them because of the curve in the deck. I don't want to have too many 3-drops. I'm playing 2 Spears. They are better than Ajani in my opinion. They are very good with Primas, which is one of the best creatures in this deck. It attacks for a lot, it puts more creatures. Also, it has Vigilance. It is not something that doesn't matter. It's quite strong when you're racing against another aggro deck. Orskov Charms are very necessary. They are very necessary removal spells that will allow you to destroy blockers against control. They are not dead because they can bring back your 1-drops, which is quite strong after a Supreme Verdict. And let's say you are left with Idol and you just bring back a 1-drop and then attack with a Mutavault. It's instant 7 damage after Sweeper. That's very good in a white aggro deck. The mana base, as I said, is 24 lands. I don't want to play a swamp. I tried playing a white-black aggro deck before with the swamp, and to be honest, I really hated it. It quite often caused me to mulligan my hands because having double white is very, very important. Um, because of mm, because of how White Weenie plays, all of these creatures are white. You can play for Brave the elements, which are very good against all of the other monocolored decks or decks like Red Green Devotions, which are just basically green, or some of the like White Red Devotions, which are mostly red. You just give protection to all your guys; they get unblockable, and very often you will be able to kill your opponents just by top decking Brave or just having it. Also, playing mostly white monocolored deck allows you to play 4 Mutavaults, which are very strong, especially in an aggressive strategy that can pump the Mutavault. The Mutavault also pumps other creatures like Eidolon. It's very good against control and against. It's a free roll basically. Sometimes it will hurt your mana, but it's very strong. So as for sideboard, I'm playing. The sideboard is pretty straightforward. These two spirits of the labyrinth are here for control matchups. I'm not sure how good they are yet, but I'm testing them. Well, when you're playing against control, you want to sideboard out your Break the Elements and banish your priests. You just want more creatures. Also, it's not just a 3-1 for 2. This ability that every player can draw only one card each turn is an upside. It's a very strong upside. It shuts off divination, it shuts off Sphinx's Revelation. It's not good enough to play more of them, but it's good enough to play some amount of the spirits, in my opinion. But more testing will decide if it's true. Pot Seizes are very strong because Supreme Verdicts are the cards that are very bad for us. Also, Jaces sometimes when you don't have the Eidolon. You need to be able to strip them from your opponent's hand. I'm also playing 2 Finslayer Paladins because I believe that people will try out this mono-black aggro versions, also like black-red aggro versions. This card just stops them. They can't do anything about it. Also, when you bestow an Eidolon on this creature, it's just good game. They can't do anything. Doomblades against green, mostly green decks. There are a lot of creatures you need to remove, like, as I mentioned, Polukranos, sometimes a Stormbreath, early strong Stormbreath Dragon is very strong because, well, it has protection from all the cards in your deck. So you need to be able to kill it. Dark Betrayal is for the mono-black matchup, and as I mentioned, this black-red or just mono-black aggro decks. It's just a cheap removal spell that you will need. Also, Ajani is the card that I can see being cut from this deck, but I think it's a versatile free drop that can, like Eidolons, which win the game out of nowhere. It just can be very strong if it's played at the right moment. His jump ability is very good. Also, the +1 is not irrelevant. It's mostly for the control matchup where you have 6 cards you want to side out, which are the priests and Brave the Elements. I think that's basically it.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to play a band control deck. We have a pretty straightforward blue-white controls shell, but in addition of Cura, the Crashing Wave, new planeswalker from the Born of the Gods, and some extra Scrylands. Starting from the mana base, I have cut the Mutavault because the deck cannot support colorless lands. Instead of Mutavaults and some basics, I have added 4 Scrylands and 3 green X Shocklands. I think that the 7 green sources are the minimum must to frequently be able to cast Kira. Um, Speaking of planeswalkers, uh, in the blue-white control you might have seen 4 Jaces, but now since you're adding 4 additional 4 drops, additional four drops, can't they can't provide that many of those. So one of the Jaces has been cut, so we have made a place for Kira, and Kira is pretty awesome alongside with any planeswalker you can play. Elspeth is good on her own. Jace is good on her own, but Kira, who's protecting them in a bit different way than Jace does, is pretty outstanding at this point. So we have 8 planeswalkers total. 2 Elspeths are here because some decks are just stone cold dead to it. I would like to play more, but we already have a pretty high end. We don't only play Elspeths, we also have a Fated Retribution, which is mainly against red-green based decks. We are not afraid of casting it, having, I don't know, like Jace or any of those planeswalkers on the board, because our planeswalkers will be always more powerful than any other planeswalkers. So dealing with creatures and planeswalkers on instant speed is pretty awesome. We also have 4 Sphinx's Revelation, and this card speaks for itself. It gives you life, draws you cards, and is stronger and stronger as long as the games go long. So there's no possibility to cut any of those. Um, Speaking of the planeswalkers, they need to be protected somehow. So in order to protect the planeswalkers, we play 4 Supreme Verdict, just to demolish all the creature decks that has to commit to the board. 4 Detention Spheres to curve out into Supreme Verdicts or get rid of opposing planeswalkers. We have some early game removal spells in the form of 3 Last Breaths and 2 Azorius Charms. Last Breaths are here because opponents' life totals doesn't matter at all. We are winning with planeswalkers, which are better and better uh, as long as the game's going. So, getting rid of Pack Rat, Precinct Captain, Chandra's Phoenix, and Nightwood Spectre is pretty huge for us. So that's why we have Last Breath. Azorius Charms are here because we don't only need to get rid of creatures, but we can also draw a card with them. So this is pretty good when we are digging for an answer, or we just need to hit our land drops. To draw cards, we also have 2 divinations. We don't want to play any more of these because we have 4 Sphinx Revelations, Jaces, and Kioras. But divinations fit the curve very well. And we also have 5 counter spells main deck to get rid of the problematic cards and protect our life total and planeswalkers. 4 dissolves are self-explanatory, so they are the best counter spell you can play, and a singleton syncopate because it's good in the early game and might be pretty surprising and valuable in the mid and late game when we can counter the opposing Sphinx Revelation, Planeswalker, or a big creature. So the goal is to preserve our life total as long as possible. So that's why we're having for like 8 hard removal spells and 6 early game removals. Also, Kira preventing the damage from the biggest creature and Jace shrinking opposing creatures down are pretty important for the deck. Elspeth is much rather win condition at this point, since we have to cut Etherlink, which is really good again only against blue-white control, and so is, for example, Kiara. So yeah, we have got one Interlink, one Jace, and one Counterspell in order to stick Kiaras to the deck. In the sideboard, we have a pretty straightforward cards, which are the Pithing Needle. This is a card good against red-green planeswalkers. Against mono black, it turns off the pack red immutables, the whip if they play any, the draw from Erebos and Underworld connections. Which is very important that it turns off the Xenagos, the Reveler, the planeswalker, because it's pretty good. I think that alongside with the Dormiray, these are two best planeswalkers against our deck, and they have to be dealt with. So we also have a Last Breath to support our early game survival plan, so to speak, and Revoke Existence. So why Revoke Existence? There's always a target for it. Almost every deck has something you want to target. There's a Tassa in a still existing mono blue devotion deck, which is their best card in this matchup. There are opposing detention spheres, there are underworld connections, and probably we'll see some enchantment creatures in new metagame. So yeah, this is a must-have. Not sure if more of those will be needed, but definitely I want to have at least one answer to problematic enchantments or artifacts. For additional counter spells for mirror matchup, 3 gainsays and a negate. Basically, mirror matchup will end up battling planeswalkers and the Etherlink. So gainsay counters both of them. Elspeth is not that big of a problem because Jace barely shuts down the tokens. It can be detention sphered or just countered by other spells, but we definitely want to have an answer for the opposing Etherlink because it can take the game over very quickly. 3 Brimazes and 3 Archangels of Dune are additional cards against the aggressive decks. Brimaz is kind of a one-man army. When it blocks, it makes creatures, and when it attacks, it makes creatures. So it's even good in the control mirror match when you're starting game because it can produce huge pressure because verdicts are gone and probably the retribution will be also gone if they play any. So the only response on their side it will be to counter it or to detention sphere. But if they detention sphere Brima, there's one less detention sphere to get rid of these planeswalkers. So that's pretty huge. Archangel, because of its lifelink, is tremendous against any creature decks. It works perfectly well with tokens made from Elspeth and the Cat King. So yeah, this is a must-have in this deck. It just kills mono blue devotion on its own and gives reach against some red-green decks. We also have a single Mistcutter Hydra, and the Hydra is basically for the blue-white control matchup. It's unblockable. It has Shroud as long as opponent does not have an Elspeth. They will play 2 Elspeth, and after sideboard we want to counter it anyway. So yeah, we don't we can't play around everything, and the Hydra is pretty good anyway. And the last card is Jace Memory Adept. It might be weird, but in plenty control and mid-range games I wanted to have it. I just missed its ability to draw an additional card or to produce some kind of pressure on my opponents. So yeah, I think that this is a perfectly fine 15th sideboard card. So yeah, this is it.